Hey everybody, Andy here, AK Montolio. Round 3 of a Vintage League. This person likes Bazaars. We're going to keep this hand. They either float between Hollow Binds or Dredge, and most recently Dredge, so we'll see where they're at. Nope, okay, wrong. Super cool. Dark Ritual. Yeah, you got it. Is this into a Sedgewitch or a Doomsday? A Necroponents. Well, we're not going to let that happen. No. All right. Take them off their black source here. They may have been all in on that Necroponents, I don't know. No, no land. Okay, they were all in on the Necroponents, which is good for us. And the nice thing is we got another Wasteland. If they do decide to find another land at some point. It's a little bit sad we don't have the black source here, but that's all right. I think what we're going to do is we're going to try and flash in a Brazen Borrower here. Try and increase the clock. This gets countered. It's not a big deal. No, we can start pinging away with our Deathrite Shaman, or we can hard cast a Mindbreak Trap if need be. Love playing Magic when my opponent's not playing Magic. It's so good. Doomsday, okay. Well, that was a great draw for us. We have a fairly robust counter suite here, so it's good. I'm sure my opponent does too, but given that we can play around days, I think this is quite advantageous for us, and the walls are very quickly closing in on my opponent here. You know, it's funny that Doomsday is as prevalent as it is recently, because with the printing of Sedgemoor Witch, um, it is having players play Flusterstorm 3 to 4, and I would say that the average is more 4 than 3. And Doomsday would have a difficult time beating that type of main deck hate, but here it is. It's just still ticking away here. Now, can we actually Treasure Cruise 1, 2, 3? I mean, they've definitely got a counter spell. If they go down to 5, they Doomsday, I can just win. Yeah, I think I'm going to attempt to do this. Let me see here. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7. I can play around days potentially or drain them. Is it worth doing that? Because they go down 4-2. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to. I don't think it's worth having my Treasure Cruise countered and coming off of Force of Will and losing in my trap. So my opponent took a gambit there with one land in hand, trying to Dark Ritual into an Necropotence, and they were never able to recuperate. I think they had a little bit of bad luck finding a second land there, on turn 6, but that's what happens sometimes. I mean, these Doomsday Doomsday decks are not strife with land. So we really like Sylvan Library. If you watch my first video, Sylvan Library was very key in me being able to beat Doomsday. I don't think we want Fatal Push. Um, what else is not very good here? I think Abrupt Decay is just so very poor against these decks. Bring in the Plague Engineer. Plague Engineer, obviously, at first glance, is just terrible against Doomsday. But the reason I bring it in is outside of having a lack of other options, sometimes that they run a Tassiter post board or Gromag Angler or something like that, and they're not easy to trade with. So having a Plague Engineer could be a decent move. I just think that Abrupt Decay is just very, very limited in what it can do for you in this type of a match. So yeah, we'll go in there. Our best card in our deck is Surgical Extraction. Um, I've come to really appreciate the value of having Surgical Extraction against Doomsday. When I actually played in the MOCS qualifier, the showcase qualifier with the 25-man tournament, I actually brought in an extra Surgical Extraction for that match because I was expecting to see a lot of Doomsday, and it's obviously quite good. So this one we've got a turn 1 Force of Negation on the draw. I feel like this is just a little too mana heavy. This one's definitely better. Put that one away. We'll have to keep the fetch land here for our Deathrite Shaman. Potential facilitate a turn 3 or turn 2 Leovold. Unfortunately, we have to be assertive here and get the Deathrite Shaman out. Maybe they'll force here. This hard cast a mental misstep. Daze. Daze is good, I guess, if they have the Mox in play. So I'm feigning weakness on lands here, thinking about this. Obviously, we have the second Deathrite Shaman, and we really have no other gas, so... Not feeling good about this one, that's for sure. We don't have a counterspell in hand. Beaters are not going to close this down fast enough. One day is down. Obviously, this clock's a lot faster than the Deathrite Shaman, but I feel like playing the Deathrite Shaman is perhaps correct here. Let's see what we draw. Play the Deathrite here. I'm going to try and set up a good turn 3 here, where I can cast 2 Tarmogoyfs, or I can cast Leovold with feigning Flusterstorm, or being able to pay for Daze. Portent. Targeting themselves, okay. I mean, that makes me feel like I'm going to get another turn here. We really need some counter magic. Like, I think even Flusterstorm here is not phenomenal, but if we draw Force of Will, we will not play Leovold. We'll just assemble 2 Tarmogoyfs here. I may do that anyways. But we do need some counter magic here. Black Lotus. That's a pretty good draw, isn't it? So the cat's out of the bag here. We're going to be deploying our hand. They're going to see we don't have a lot of counter magic here. I mean, this is a pretty serious clock. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually. Oh, wow. Okay, I mean, we are going to cast the second Tarmogoyf here. Hopefully they don't have a daze. They had one in already that they've used, so hopefully this is good. As we are all in. The fact that they countered that Tarmogoyf, though, does feign weakness because they really just want to be protecting their Doomsday, and to me that shows that they don't have it. And so if that's the case, this Tarmogoyf is going to beat down very quickly, and they telegraphed that by countering the first one. Okay, so that's very good for us. We're going to cast it, see what happens. Well, they just let it resolve. Okay. I'm going to get Ancestral. Do it during their turn. Actually, do I even need to? No, I'm not in a hurry to do that. Duress, okay. Well, we're going to Ancestral ourselves here, aren't we? It's not the world's best Duress, that's for sure. So we gave up a couple damage to do that, but I think that's okay. Okay. I like Leovold here. But let's attack in. I don't think I'm going to cast Leovold, though. I think I'm just going to cast another. Like, maybe it's worth casting Leovold. I don't know. I don't think so. If I had another mana, I think that'd probably be the right line. Let me think about this here. So they're going to go down to 6. The fetch land is 5 if they choose to use it. This is going to put them down to 4. I mean, they've got 3 cards in hand. I feel like, they're dead next turn. I feel like Leovold is just a high enough play. Like, they can't beat Leovold. Easily, right? Like, sure, they can have a, removal for it, but draws me a card, and I mean, they're going to die next turn. So I feel like this puts us in a solid position.